are going to get you all the details of these stories, but for the time being, the focus is going to be very disturbing visuals which have been coming out of the Israel-Hamas wall. The Al-Shifa hospital, it has been rendered completely dysfunctional. This, remember, is the largest hospital in Gaza, which is currently in the midst of a fight between the IDF, the Israeli forces, and the Hamas terrorists. In fact, all the fuel meant to help the hospital in saving lives have now been snatched away by the Islamist terror group. People are now being deprived of their basic rights. Hospitals, which are now being turned into terror headquarters, as per Israel. In fact, UN's aids have been misused by the terror group as well, and civilians have been left to suffer with no treatment. Babies have been allowed to die, 6 of them in this hospital alone in the last 6 days, when there has been a power cut. Well, the war has taken a toll on these innocents who are being forced to pay this price of war. But Israel, on the other hand, is not only dismantling terror, but also has been helping, it claims, the people of Gaza. Upon hearing about the energy crisis at Al-Shifa hospital, Israeli forces risked their lives to hand deliver 300 liters of fuel to the Shifa hospital for urgent medical purpose. But guess what? Abu Rish, the Director General of Hamas Health Ministry, has rejected this aid of fuel sent in by Israel, while putting lives of people at peril. Listen into this conversation. It has been released by the Israeli forces. They say this is how Hamas has refused to allow Israeli forces deliver fuel to those who are ailing in the Al-Shifa hospital.
حتى اللحظة دي في مشكلة بس في الشفا طورها قريبا.
شو السيرة؟
يعني أبو الريش ما بدوش الكمية بنحاول نقنع فيه.
Well, the IDF, on the other hand, is doing everything it can to mitigate the harm which has come to the civilians of Gaza, and has also said that it is increasing the humanitarian aid, and has reiterated that the war against Hamas and is not against the people of Gaza per se.
October 7th is the day our world stopped. Hamas started a war, brutally butchering, raping, and burning over 1,200 civilians, as well as kidnapping hundreds of people. It's been 38 days since. Babies, women, children, and the elderly, 239 innocent people, all being held hostage by Hamas in Gaza. Ever since October 7th, the IDF has 2 goals: eliminating Hamas and bringing back our hostages. The IDF has repeatedly stated, our war is with Hamas, not with the people of Gaza. We're doing everything we can to mitigate harm to civilians and increase humanitarian aid. We've employed tactical pauses in specific areas of northern Gaza in an additional effort to facilitate the safe, temporary evacuation of civilians southward. We've also been encouraging the evacuation of patients treated in hospitals used by Hamas as terrorist bases, including the elimination of Hamas terrorists who was holding 1,000 Gazan civilians hostage in the Rantisi hospital, clearly using them as human shields. A safe passage is open on Al-Wahda Street from Shifa Hospital to allow civilians a safer route from the hospital to the south. Thousands of people have already evacuated the hospital. In the last 24 hours, the IDF has delivered 300 liters of fuel to Shifa Hospital's doorstep, yet the fuel remains untouched after Hamas threatened hospital staff. These continued efforts all follow our 2 goals: eliminate Hamas and bringing back our hostages. We will do whatever is necessary so that something like the October 7th massacre never happens again.